Business Elite Award winner, who joined PSA in 2020. Kaley Chu, you may have heard of her as the lunch girl, and you're not wrong because she loves lunches. She's had over 300 lunches with strangers. Since then, published the book 100 Lunches with Strangers, had lunch with billionaires Brian Tracy and Dr. John Martini, and many others besides. She's been interviewed by all the major media like Harvard Business Review and spoken at major events like TEDx, and is speaking with David Goggins next month in front of 7,000 people across Sydney and Melbourne. Congratulations, Kaley. And she became a CSP this year at conference, so we can't wait to hear a little bit more from Kaley. Please welcome her to the PSA series.
Thank you, and thank you everyone, thank you, thanks for having me here.
Will you take a seat? Now, we're speaking to online through this one, so hopefully they can hear us okay. I'm not there tonight, so I'm sure it's all okay. All right, we've got a few questions ready to go, just to kind of give us a different insight so we can stay on track. But let's begin first, and I suppose as we were talking about before, like, what got you started as a speaker?
I accidentally fell into the speaking industry. I had no idea speaker exists, like as an industry. I just set myself a personal challenge of having 100 lunches with 100 strangers to get out of my comfort zone, because as an immigrant, I used to be really, really, really shy. And from there, one of my lunch guests said, "You should publish a book." And I go, "Okay." And then we did a book together. And then one of my lunch guests said, "You should come to my office and do a speech." And one thing led to another, then I just accidentally started speaking.
I love that, accidentally started speaking, fantastic. And then, what about joining PSA? So where did that come into, so it's the journey that you traveled on, Kaley?
I think I was very lucky that every step of the way I had lots of people support me and had mentors, and one of the person who used to be my boss, his name is John Di Natale, and he took me to one of the PSA events. That's how I came to know PSA. And the first convention, my mind was blown. I was so overwhelmed. Like, I thought I got out of my comfort zone after so many lunches with strangers, but the first time I got to the convention, it's like put me back to that shell one more time. That's like, these people are so successful. Like, where am I to be in that room? And it was so scary, but it was so inspiring as well. I have to mention this person's name. She's here, Lisa. Thank you. Like, everyone knows, like, watch Lisa's boomerang story. The boomerang speech at that convention 2020 in Adelaide really blew my mind. I go, wow, I thought I was okay speaker, but watching that performance just inspired me to achieve so much more and go, that is where I want to go.
So Lisa was a catalyst for you to strive for more. So thank you, Lisa. And that's all the lives that you've impacted between there and now. So that was 2020. Let's talk about the journey from there to becoming a CFP this year in 2024. So what have been, some of the key achievements, key moments, highlights of that journey, would you say?
Key moments of journey. There are so many of them. I think my key moments are all lunches. I have so many amazing lunches. I think Carol, just randomly we spoke at the Happiness and These courses together. We got to have lunch, and lunch really changed my life, if it makes sense. And because every lunch is like opening new doors for new opportunities, and you just don't know what's going to happen. And from there, I had lots of speaking opportunities and just continued growing my business.
That's amazing. I love that story. What a great tip as well for anybody that's getting started out. So was there any singular event or lunch, you mentioned there were a few, but that was seriously impactful? That was the game changer, almost like that turning point?
Yes, I remember one of my early speaking career that he is also my mentor. His name is Michael Russell. I'm really, really appreciative of him, because at that time I just started. I had no idea what I was doing. And he said, "Kaley, you have potential. I really like your story." And as a CEO of the company, he gave me my very first corporate speaking gig. And after that, he picked up his phone and called his other CEO friends and go, "You have to use Kaley as a speaker." And they're
it's great to have people like that. Of course, as you said, it came from
I had lunches.
yeah.
Lunch wife.
So, obviously he was quite instrumental, but what's the best advice? Was it from Lisa, or was there somebody else what was the best advice that was on your journey that you received?
Can I say the same thing? Keep having lunch with strangers because you really never know. And a lot of lunch guests, because they know me with my story and they invited me to speak, and that's how opened up a lot of doors. That's really how I got into the whole speaking industry. Is the network that I built accidentally throughout lunch with strangers.
The accidental speaker. So what motivates you to keep going now, Kaley?
Of course, the people in the room that I just shared my story. I just thought, okay, this is who I am, this is what I've done, and you can do it too. And then people came to me and go, thank you. Sometimes people struggle to believe in themselves, and they see someone like me and go, oh, if she can do it, I can do it too. And just like that, and people came to me and say thank you to me, and that means the world to me, because I didn't know just being myself and doing things that I love would be inspiring.
Now, it would be very inspiring if you were to say that there were no setbacks along the way, but we all know that there are, in the pursuit of any goal or any achievement, there are always setbacks. So, was there anything significant for you that happened along the way that maybe, pushed your confidence or maybe set you back in any way?
Of course. I only started speaking in 2019. And we all know what happens in 2020, right? I was so inspired in the 2020 convention with Lisa, and I made the goal that I'm going to be a CSP, I'm going to do all these things. And just when I do that, and I actually got booked like quite a few major speaking gigs, but then suddenly everything got cancelled, and I quit my job already at that time. I had like a few months of zero income. I was wondering, what am I going to do? Like, I even tried to apply a few jobs, but I got declined. Thank you, they didn't hire me. That kept me to keep going and no choice. And I pivoted to do virtual speaking. I started to host my own events online, and that opens up a whole new door, because now I would say most of my speaking are online, virtual, and they still pay well, and I can build my online community. I can speak to people all over the world, and that's just incredible things that comes out from COVID.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's about that ability to be able to pivot and to be able to be reactive to the situation, which will always be the case, I think, moving forward for all of us. I guess wrapping up now, it's been very inspiring. I think everybody will have taken something really strong away from this. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? So, in the pursuit of becoming a CSP, what would you have said was the most defining point? Was it like the corporate speaking? Was it training or coaching? Because a lot of us do, multiple different things along our journey. So what was it for you that brought you to that CSP level?
I do quite a lot of things: speaking, training, coaching, and lunching and hosting events. Like one of my favorite lunch lately was with Brian Tracy. I did not expect that I could have lunch with him. I started reading his books when I first started personal development journey, and then got to work with him together. That's just absolutely incredible. And if I have to share one tip for everyone in the room, or people watching this interview here, that's when me and Brian Tracy did an event together a couple of months ago, and the theme of the event, we had 3 sentences that we want the audience to remember, which I thought was really useful to me, which is, it's not what, it's why. Like, why do we do what we do? Why do we become a speaker instead of what do we do? Because what is not as important as the why. And it's not how, it's who. Sometimes we focus so much on the how, but sometimes it's about who can help us get there faster. Who do we want to serve? Who do we want to become? Instead of just the how. And lastly, which is very, very important, is you will where you believe. That's just believe it. If there's something that you want to do, if you want to be a speaker, if you want to be a CSP, you know this is something meaningful and you want to do, just believe it. It's not just being a speaker, but anything in the world, doesn't matter what goal is, believe it. And we're halfway there, so just believe
about that. Well, congratulations on all of your success and wishing you every success moving forward. It's lovely to speak to you this evening and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Oh, and one last thing. I do host lots of online events, so I'm constantly looking for speakers. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. So let's talk and connect and see what happens. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kaley.
Thank you.